Okay, welcome back to the episode of this course. So in this lesson, you are going to be learning another basic things to know about website creation. Don't forget that I said that a blog is also a type of website, just the way an e-commerce website is also a type of website. So I'm going to be using it interchangeably. So sometimes I might say website, sometimes I might say blog. Just understand that we are still saying the same thing, but our focus in this course is creating a blog. So when we want to make our blog to be online for everybody to see, what exactly do we have to do? We need two major things. We need the domain name, which is the address that is accessible throughout the whole world. Anybody in any part of the world can access this domain name. Okay, that address is on the World Wide Web, and that is the meaning of that www that you type before your domain name. So we have World Wide Web. So on the World Wide Web, you need to have a portion also in the World Wide Web where you can host your own website also. So we need two major things. We need the domain name and we need the hosting plan, and you need to buy them. Now, for a start, it is not as expensive as you think, but as we move on, I will tell you the pros and cons of buying a cheap hosting plan and buying an expensive hosting plan. Now let's move on. We need a domain name and we also need an hosting plan. Then how do we get it? There are people that sell domain name and hosting plan online. You can buy it. You don't need any special thing to buy it. And these people, they are called registrar. So when you are having an issue with your hosting plan or with your domain name, if I say contact your registrar, what I mean is that contact the vendor that sold your hosting plan to you or the domain name to you. Now let me simply type online and say domain registrar in Nigeria. Okay, so what we mean is that who are the people that can sell domain name to us, or who are the people that can sell hosting plan to us in Nigeria. And you can see them right here. We have Host Africa, we have accreditation.com, we have go54.com, we have Domain King. I personally use Domain King though. Then we have Google Host. We have them many. Okay, but in this course we are going to be using truehosts.com.ng. We are choosing this registrar because it is cheaper, and because you are just starting up, of course it shouldn't cost you so much. Okay, so because for a tutorial purpose, so I just want you to be able to afford everything throughout this course. Okay, so that is why we are using Truehost, but you can also use Aboli Host. Aboli Host is also affordable. With Aboli Host also you can see cheap domain name and cheap hosting plan, and you can just buy for 1 month. Okay, the domain name you can buy a year and above, but for the hosting plan you can buy just a month. Okay, now let's come back to the truehost.com.ng. Now when you check here, we have pricing, web hosting, reseller hosting, Windows hosting, server add-on. We have many things here. Then we have domain. So here you can search for domain name, because two people cannot have one domain name. Like I showed you the other time, we have www.edopoli.edu.ng for instance. So let me search for that domain name, edopoli.edu.ng. Then I'll click on search. All right, so you can see it right here. It is saying edopoli.edu.ng is unavailable. That means you cannot buy this domain name, because two people cannot have one domain name, because the one domain name must be pointing to just one website. So if you want to buy your domain name, if it is your blog, you can choose any domain name of your choice. You can use your name to buy a domain name. For me, I used Ola Phillips, which is my name, to buy a domain name. So I used olaphillips.com.ng as my domain name. Okay, so if any other person wants to buy that domain name, of course it is going to be unavailable. So for instance, now let me just add op. Okay, so edopopoli, okay, .edu.ng, and let me search and let's see if it will be available. Okay, you can see it right here. .ng is available and I can buy it. Now the price of domain name also depends on the TLD, top level domain. What do I mean by TLD? Now for every domain name that you are going to be seeing, you are going to be seeing .com, .org, .edu.ng, .com.ng. So after that dot is what we call TLD. So for instance, the TLD of this domain name is edu.ng, and you can see different extension here. So you can call it domain extension and you can also call it TLD. So you can see different prices here. You can see .com is 18,000 naira, .com.ng is 2,100, .ng is 7,500, .africa is 9,000 naira, .net is 30,986. So you have different prices for different domain extension. So you can choose, but the cheapest you can have is .com.ng, and that is why I chose olaphillips.com.ng. So you can use your name to buy for practical purpose in this course, or you can just come up with your blog name and buy it once and for all. And once you are buying, you are paying for 1 year. Okay, so this .com.ng is 2,100, and that 2,100 is for 1 year. Okay, now that is for domain name. Okay, that is for domain name. Now let's come to hosting. Okay, so let's click on reseller hosting. Okay, so now we have the reseller hosting. We have different prices here. We have reseller silver, reseller gold, reseller platinum, reseller bronze package. Okay, there are 4 types here. So this one is 13,000 naira monthly. I think this one is very high. Okay, let's go for web hosting. Let's go for web hosting, reseller hosting. Okay, I think this one is better. Okay, TrueHost silver hosting, TrueHost bronze hosting. So this one is 1,400 per month. This one is 5,000 naira annually. Now 1,400 naira should be about 16,000 or 17,000 in a year, and this one is 5,000 naira in a year. Okay, for a month is 1,400, so you can buy for a month, but your domain name is for a year. You can't buy a domain name for a month. You can only buy hosting plan for a month. So our domain name with .com.ng extension is 2,100, and this also is 1,400 naira, which is about 3,500. So before you watch my next lesson, get your 3,500 naira ready so that we can buy our hosting plan and our domain name, and we continue. Now, why do we have different prices here? Okay, because this one is about 17,000 naira per year, this is 5,000 naira, and this is 2,700 per month, this is 4,792 per month. What is the difference? It is the same hosting. Whenever you buy any of them, you are going to have your hosting plan. You are going to have your cPanel where you control your hosting plan. But listen to the difference. You can see they have their respective features. This one is 30 gig space. and this one is 1 gig space. And of course, you cannot compare a flash drive of 30 gig with a flash drive of 1 gig. What a 1 gig storage space will contain is not what 30 gig will contain. So it is advisable when you are buying your hosting plan, you have to buy a reasonable amount that can accommodate your website and that will come with enough resources. Now, we have unlimited bandwidth transfer here. We have unlimited bandwidth transfer. If you are buying for a year, you will have free.com.ng domain name. But here, there's no free.com.ng domain name. You have unlimited email account here. Here you have just one email account. Okay, here you will have unlimited database, you have IP address, you have cPanel, you have cPanel here also. You have one database. That means you can only install one website here because you have one database. But here you have unlimited database. Okay, and if you check other hosting plan, you will see other things that are more than the ones that are here. So I will not advise that you go for hosting plan of 5,000 naira annually if you are to host your blog or to develop a blog for a client. But for the purpose of this course, if that is what you can afford for now, you just want to pay 5,000 naira once and for all, and you want it to run for a year, it is okay, all right? Because later on, you can upgrade your hosting plan anytime. You can step it down and you can also upgrade it at any point in time. So having explained that, in the next lesson, I'm going to practicalize everything that I've taught in this lesson. So in the next lesson, we are going to choose our domain name, which is olaphillips.com.ng, and we are going to choose our 1 month hosting plan. Now, don't get confused. I have created this course and finished this course before I created this introductory part of this course. So this blog was the blog that I created during the course. Okay, so by the point of creating this introductory part, I'm already through with this course. So don't get confused, because olaphillips.com.ng is live right now. By the time we are going to buy it in the next lesson, so that you will not get confused like, okay, the domain name is online already, why is it not saying that it is unavailable? All right, so you just have to get the logic that this video is created after I've created other part of this course. All right, so in the next lesson, I'm going to see you again. Keep yourself motivated, and don't forget that you have a goal and you have to complete that goal, and very soon you will become that blogger that you want to become, or you can actually become a blog developer for yourself, and you can also become a blog developer and you will have clients to pay you. All right, so I will see you in my next lesson. Thank you.